Can you like this video? As the movie starts, we see the main character of the movie, a girl named Sophie. A few years ago, Sophie was a skater. She used to skate and was such a good skater that she was one of the best skaters in the world. But then after this, an accident happened to her due to which she lost her eyesight. And now she can't see anything. Due to this, now her whole life has changed. But anyway, now to earn money and to spend her life, she has become a house sitter. Means people hire her for a few days so that she can take care of their house. Even today a lady has hired Sophie for her house. So now Sophie is preparing to go to her house. After packing all her stuff, Sophie quietly tries to leave her house but her mother sees her. That is why she asks Sophie where are you going and that too with luggage. On it, Sophie says Mom, actually I am going to my work. After this, Sophie's mom also asks who sent $4,200 to your account. Sophie tells her mom that I have made a fan page where people are impressed by my work and give me extra money, but there was nothing like that and Sophie was lying. Actually, the house where Sophie used to go, she steals 2 to 3 bottles of wine from there and sells it online. After some time, she reaches that lady's house by car. The lady tells her that I got divorced yesterday. Because of it, I am going on vacation for a few days so that I can relax. Here, that lady also tells Sophie to take care of her cat. And after a while, she leaves from there. Here we see that the lady's house is huge in which there were many security systems. After this, Sophie calls her friend and he tells Sophie about the whole house. Means he tells her about rooms, doors and stairs. Anyway, following her words, Sophie reaches a wine cellar where different types of wines were kept. And then Sophie starts stealing a bottle of wine. Its price was around $4,500. But Sophie's friend forbids her to do so because of this. Sophie becomes furious and gets angry with him. Because of this, she cuts the call. After some time, Sophie hears a voice message in her mobile that was actually from her mom, in which she is telling Sophie to install an app. The name of the app is See For Me, which was made only for blind people. So that blind people, i.e. people who cannot see, can be guided through a live call.
Anyway, Sophie ignores that message and goes out of the house to smoke, but by mistake, the door of the house gets locked from behind. Although Sophie tries to open it but she can't open it, and because of this, Sophie gets nervous. That's why she tries to call her friend, but then she does not call him and stops because some time ago, she fought with her friend. After this, Sophie remembers the app told by her mom, See For Me. That's why Sophie installs the app. Sophie was doing all this through the voice command in her mobile. Anyway, after installing the app, she connects to the server where a girl gets a call. Sophie tells her problem and asks her to help her open the door, but that girl does not help her. In fact, she behaves strangely. Because of it, Sophie ends the call. After this, Sophie calls again and this time a girl gets a call named Kelly. Then Kelly helps Sophie through a video call and asks her to go inside the house from the back door, but because of the snow, the door was jammed. Then Kelly tells Sophie the way to open the door. Following this, Sophie finally succeeds in opening the door, but then the alarm of the house rings. Here, Sophie, with the help of Kelly, with great difficulty stops the alarm. Now, because Kelly had helped Sophie, that's why Sophie sets it on the priority. So that whenever Sophie needs help, the call goes straight to Kelly. Before going to bed at night, we see that Sophie is listening to documentaries about skaters on her laptop because she was still very fond of skating. Anyway, after a while, she feels sleepy and goes to sleep. After this, the scene shifts outside the house. Here we see that a car comes and stops there and 3 people come out who were 3 thieves who had come to steal $10 million in the secret safe in this house. As they reach, they disarm the house. After opening the door, they come inside the house. Then when they are trying to open the safe, Sophie hears their voices. Because of this, she wakes up, gets up quickly and goes to check. Then she feels that maybe it was that cat's voice that must be playing. That's why she rings the alarm tied to its neck. As the alarm rings, a thief understands that there is someone in the house. For this, he goes to check into the hall of the house with the help of a torchlight. That who is there, he sees the cat sitting here. After this, he comes back to his thief and says, I am sure that there is someone in this house, so that's why I check and come. Till then you try to open the safe.
After this, as the thief goes to check, he hits his hand on a bottle that falls down and breaks. Along with that, Sophie's mobile also falls down. Following the voice, the thief moves towards him. But Sophie quickly picks up her mobile and goes to the other room. Now she calls the police immediately for help, where the operator tells her that the police will reach there in a while. They will reach your house. After this, Sophie calls Kelly and tells her everything. At this point, Kelly says okay, but now you slowly move forward. Then, listening to her, Sophie turns on the video camera and moves forward as she says. Here, Kelly tells Sophie that there is a man right in front of you, who is actually trying to open a safe. After a while, the other thief also comes back there. Here he calls and tells his boss that I am sure that there is someone in the house. Because of this, once again he goes to check the house, where Sophie is trying to escape from there secretly. But then suddenly, that thief comes in front of her and catches Sophie. Later, he takes Sophie's mobile and disconnects Kelly's call. Then as they are about to kill Sophie, Sophie says, please listen to me carefully before ending me. I will not tell anyone about you and I have not even seen your faces. That who are you? Because I can't see, I am blind. Then when the thief sees her call history in her mobile, he sees the police's number and asks Sophie that you have called the police and in 20 minutes the police will come here. So what will you tell the police? Then Sophie says, I will tell the police that the alarm that rung because of which I got scared. That alarm was actually wrong because there was a glitch in that alarm. And there is no one in this house except me. Then Sophie says, please include me in this plan with you. I don't ask much from you. Just give me my share. Then the thief calls his boss and tells everything about it. Here the thief agrees to include Sophie in this plan. Then Sophie calls the police and forbids the police to come here. But the operator tells her that our female officer will come there and confirm whether you are telling the truth or lying, means you are really alone or there is someone else there. After a while, the female officer reaches there, where Sophie tries to convince her that there is no one here except me, but the officer tells Sophie that I can't believe you. And to confirm, let me search inside the house. Then the officer comes inside the house and starts checking everywhere with a torchlight.
But by then, the three thieves were hidden. After this, the female officer repeatedly asks Sophie that look, listen to me, don't worry. If you have any problem, then I can help you. This time Sophie says no, there is no such thing. I am not in danger. I don't need any help from you, so you go away from here. After this, the officer starts going from there, but then suddenly, the thief's phone starts ringing, which was lying there nearby, on which the call was made by his boss. After this, the officer picks up the phone and gives it to Sophie. Sophie attends the call. Here the boss asks Sophie about the situation, but Sophie does not answer him. And by lying, she turns off the phone. Seeing this, the officer leaves, but then the police call comes to the officer, in which it is said that a girl named Kelly had called us. And that girl has also told us about the same location of this house. And she has said that some people have entered this house. After hearing this, the officer again enters the house to check. Here the thief suddenly comes in front of him and surrenders. And says, I have entered here, I am the only one here, that's why I surrender myself to you. And you can take me with you, but that officer does not believe him. That's why she immediately calls the police station and asks them to send backup. Then in the same time, the other thief also reaches here, who pushes the officer. But the officer shoots the thief and that bullet passes by him. After this, the thief puts a wire in the officer's neck and strangles him. Because of this, the officer dies there. Meanwhile, Sophie picks up the officer's gun and immediately runs out of there. After this, she again calls Kelly through the C4Me app. Kelly helps her and explains her the way. Sophie goes ahead and hides in a room. But after a while, a thief finds her and reaches here. He immediately asks Sophie to surrender, but Kelly tells Sophie to set the camera angle and asks to shoot the thief. Sophie does the same and shoots the thief and kills him. After this, Sophie again goes inside the house, where suddenly the other thief comes in front of her. Then Kelly again asks Sophie to fix the camera angle, then the network gets down. And the call gets disconnected for a while. Here, Sophie starts shooting at the thief, but none of the bullets hit the thief. That's why he starts running towards Sophie, but then the connection comes back. Here, Kelly again asks Sophie to shoot. Then Sophie does the same and starts shooting again, but this time the
bullets go straight and hit her chest. Because of this, the other thief is also ended here. The third thief opens the locker, but by then, Sophie also reaches there. By giving her the gun, the thief says neither you know me nor do I. So in this way, we don't have any enmity. I will just pick up my share of money and leave from here. After this, the thief picks up his money and starts leaving from there. But Sophie again points the gun at him. Then Kelly tells Sophie to shoot him, as he is on target, but then Sophie's mobile turns off, because of low battery. Because of this, Kelly's call gets disconnected, but then the thief takes his friend's gun and starts shooting Sophie, but before that Sophie shoots him and ends him. After a while, the leader of the thieves reaches here. He comes here and sees that his 3 companions are dead. Now because he knew about Sophie, so he starts looking for her. But by then Sophie had hidden. After this, Sophie turns off all the lights of the house to distract him. By doing this, Sophie starts running from there, but the leader starts shooting her in the dark. One of the bullets hits Sophie. After this, Sophie gets hold of a thief's mobile and redials the leader's number. Because of it, the leader's phone starts ringing near him. By looking at his light, Sophie starts shooting him, but he doesn't get shot. He survives. After it, he grabs Sophie and starts strangling her. But then Sophie gets a bottle of wine, that's why she hits that bottle on the leader's head. Then she hits the leader's head with the same bottle and crushes his head. Because of this, he also dies here. After this, we hear the police car's alarm, which means the police has come to rescue her. And now she is not in any danger. After it, we are shown the story of a few days later, when Sophie's mother is bringing Sophie out of the hospital. In the same way, we see Sophie skating after a week, which means Sophie's leg, which was injured earlier, is now completely fine. Now here let me clear some parts for you. I will tell you who was the leader of those thieves. And how did he know about the money? Actually, the boss of the thieves was the lady's husband, whose house was this, with whom the lady had taken a divorce. That's why her husband wanted to take the money himself. Sophie, despite being blind, was able to skate, because she had taken a good training of skating. As I told you, she was one of the best skaters, that's why all this was easy for her. With this, the movie concludes here.